So a Series 2A, restored by a place down in Cornwall, and then electrified by us, Electric Car Converts. This thing is quite special. As you can see, every single part of this car is brand new. Every single part. So it's just a little bit of a special one for us. We do a lot of old Series 2A, Series 3, Series 1 Land Rovers, but this one really feels like the best that we've ever done, mostly because of the restoration. So let's have a look under the bonnet, and we can see the black battery box there. Now that's made in-house by us, and it's got 7 Tesla Model S batteries in it. These ones are actually out of a P100 Tesla, which means that they're 6.4 kilowatt hours each, giving this pack a total capacity of 44 kilowatt hours, which is a huge amount for, you know, this kind of size box. So we're good for, let's call it, over 100 miles in this car when it comes to range. It's running at 144 volts nominal, which is what the inverter is doing, and pushing power down to the motor, which is underneath the battery box. Now that motor goes onto the original gearbox. Now a lot of people always say, oh, why'd you go to gearbox? Why didn't you go to transfer box? Obviously they know a lot about this. But if you put a Hyper-9 motor straight onto the transfer box, you have basically no chance of going uphill from a standstill, i.e. a car park entrance or something, or a pub entrance or whatever. If you're sat there stationary, you absolutely won't get the torque to get uphill. It's like sitting in final drive, i.e. 4th gear in these cars, and trying to accelerate. It's super slow and you just don't have the power. So that's been a very common question. Which is why we leave the gearbox in there. Yes, you lose a little bit of efficiency, but really, are you driving around in an old Land Rover to be the most efficient EV that you've ever seen? No, you're not. Otherwise, you'd make it aerodynamic. So we use 3rd gear instead. 3rd gear means you have the torque to set off, but you can also go to high speeds. And if you want to go off-road, which is, you know, part of the fun, maybe not in one like quite as posh as this, but if you want to go off-road, you can put it in 2nd gear, you can put it in high or low ratio, and then you can go up anything really. So that's sort of why we leave it there. This one is even better in the sense that it's a fully rebuilt gearbox. So the gearbox literally is as efficient as it possibly can be. We've even taken reverse gear out of this. Well, we asked the gearbox people to take reverse gear out of this because you don't need it, because you just make the motor go the other direction. So that's up the front. All the other things that we've done, well, there's nothing really else to see here. It's a black box with some orange cabling on it. And you can see that this is a Tesla battery shape. Now, in other series videos that you'll have seen us do, we put the control modules up here, like the BMS, like the DC-DC contact circuits, etc. But as you can see, there's not really enough space to do that neatly in the front here. So what we've done is put them down the back. Now, you would usually have a rubber mat here, and then underneath it, you open it with these little keys. You have all of the gubbins, all the control systems. So in here, you've got the DC-DC, you've got the BMS, you've got the charger, you've got the contactor circuit, fuse boxes, and that's all hidden away in this nice waterproof box, which means it's completely sort of safe. You're never going to go in there and touch it, nor are you really, in fact, ever going to go in there. The only real person that goes in there is me, or one of my team, if I need to do an update or check something or whatever. But yeah, that'll be locked away forever now. And what it means is that we don't have all those horrible low voltage wires spread across the car. i.e. if you put the charger in the back and then something else in the front, you've got to run wires between them, communications between them. It sort of mitigates that as much as possible, which is why we really like that plan. That's sitting at original floor level, so all we have to do is take the floor out, cut a square out of it, and bolt it back in. And it's sitting on the chassis members, because there's obviously 2 rails of chassis there for it to sit on, which is really a nice little neat way of doing it. So that's that. You'll see she's still got a tow bar. the owner of this car does tow and does want to tow, and he also, I think, wants to put his bike rack on it. I think he's got a bike rack that goes on the tow bar. But yeah, this car will absolutely tow. It will tow a, you know, we've got one that tows a sheep trailer around a local farm local to here, actually. They go to like sheep shows, etc. So you don't lose any of that out of your old Land Rover, which is nice. Let's show you inside. Well, actually, first, the quality of this restoration is such that there's even these domed head rivets that are not painted. Apparently that's a very important part of the restoration, because everything is perfect. And I think the restorer had a bit of a heart attack when he found out that it was going electric after the restoration, because it's probably, everything else is as it came out of the factory, what, 50 something years ago, 60 something years ago even. So inside it looks much the same. I'll go around the other side. The only thing we've actually changed in here is this clock. So if you have a look at that clock, it shows battery level and it shows amps. The other side is the speedo, which is the same as it always was, the original speedo, because it still runs off a drive on the back of the gearbox. It hasn't got power steering, it hasn't got anything fancy in here. It literally is as it was. Oh, there is one fancy thing, it's got a heated windscreen. Not done by us, done by the restorers, but a pretty nice touch, because you can use this car in winter. You know it's going to start, so that's a help in winter. But a lovely, lovely, lovely interior. Then the only other thing is the charge socket. Come and have a look at the charge socket. In there, type 2, 0 to 100% in I think 5 hours or so. From a lamppost charger, or the charger, like a pod point that you get put in your house, or it's overnight if you've got a granny charger, which means the charger that goes between there and the 3-pin socket on the wall. But other than that, there's nothing you need to know. It's as simple as that, easy peasy. Only because we've done it 21 times before now. So we're in here now. Let's go for a quick drive. All I have to do here is I turn the key. You see it all come to life there. Whole load of clicking from the back, that's contactors. Then it's already in 3rd gear. All I do is flick that over into drive, let the handbrake off. And this is probably the world's quietest series Land Rover. And that is because the gearbox and transfer box are rebuilt. So it's pretty amazing, this thing. See, we just pooped around. It's still got steering play, but to be honest, they all do. It's all new steering, but it's still got play. Look, welcome to Land Rover. We're not building you a new car here. But other than that, I don't really do anything. I can accelerate. All these levers here still work. That was one of our main questions at Goodwood, was can you still use high-low ratio? Can you still use 2- and 4-wheel drive? So all of that's still there. And strangely, in an electric car, I can put my foot on the clutch and change into 4th. And then it's even quieter. But really, in terms of driving, it's just beautiful. It's so silent. It's so easy to drive as well. You see there, as I come off the throttle, it gives me regen. It can go up hills. It can accelerate up hills even. Quite quickly. Just makes the Land Rover actually work and useful without worrying about chugging around up and down hills. Oh, you're taking the character out of the vehicle. You're not. Anyone who tells me that, I ask them to drive one, actually. I prefer they didn't drive one, but I ask them, have you ever driven one? And they say no. I say, well, what do you know? So that's for the naysayers. All you do is spur us on even more. So that's us. That's the latest Series 2A. It goes back to Surrey tomorrow, where it will live a happy life, and then actually I think it goes down to Cornwall, to the holiday home for the summers. So that's really fun. But yeah, we can't wait to see the smile on the face of the family who we give it back to. Thanks for watching.